Alright, welcome back to Trophy Chronicles, where today I'm going to be taking a look at something very special. Not only because it is my 200th Platinum, and I've been going for trophies since I got my PS3 in 2005, the first console that had the trophies for me, and ever since then, I love the concept. Some people love them, some people hate them, some people are just don't give a crap. It's always motivated me so hard to play extra games, play different kinds of games, to play way more games I wouldn't. And whenever it's a big one, the 50s, the 100s especially, all two of them, I like to make it special, and what could be more special than the black sheep of the Final Fantasy franchise? No, the other one. No, the other one. Yeah, there we go. Final Fantasy VIII is not only one of just my most beloved, cherished games in the world, being the second game in my favourite franchise, right behind Final Fantasy X, which was my 100th. I also think, given how early I got into this, and the fact I did play it when before I had friends who knew about it or who played it, before I had internet access, I had to make my own opinions, and I was shocked to know people didn't like this game, but that's the beauty of growing up without the internet. And without people who know the game. You have to make your own judgment. And I loved it. I think this has a good contender to be, if not the most, one of the most influential, impactful games on my gaming taste. If I didn't play this when I was as young as I was, who knows what I'd be playing right now? I'd be playing Madden. Who knows? But let's just get into it. Given that the trophies are really nothing that out of place in this game, a lot of it is just story progression. Most of it will just go into explaining the game and why I love it. So, what is Final Fantasy VIII? You play as Squall Leonhardt. Actually, it's one of my most cherished little things. One negative of playing this while or doing this while standing up. It's nowhere to put it. Yeah, leave it there for motivation. You play as Squall Leonhardt, a member of a boarding school that trains soldiers known as Seeds for the general purpose of just being kind of like mercenaries, but also with the ultimate goal of defeating the sorceress, Edea. I've never heard anyone officially pronounce out loud. That's going to come up a few times. You'll team with other characters that will generally just be either from your school, a separate school, or somebody who hires you, which of course being Rhinoa, the love interest of the game. And you'll have 6 party members in all, and a couple who will kind of temporarily join you, like your rival Cypher. Probably one of the most famous characters in the game, to be honest. Not in any small part due to Kingdom Hearts 2. And you go on like a globe-trotting adventure, learning who you are, things about yourself, growing up, learning to care for people that aren't yourself, because Squall is the well-known edgy emo asshole of the game sometimes. Constantly replying with things like, I don't care, whatever. It was a different time. I don't know how this is considered now, but a lot of people don't. I love Squall. Probably one of my favourite main characters out there, to be honest. I can't. It's hard to say too much about spoiling the story, especially in a game like this, because it gets crazy sometimes. You probably all heard the Squall is dead theory, so the game gets kind of wild. But while it can be convoluted, confusing, messy, weird, cliched, silly sometimes, I do love the story and I do love the characters. One of the biggest things that is going to make you love or hate this game, I think, the battle system. And the biggest aspect to do with that is why I love it. A lot of people don't get into it. The junction system. It's an interesting mechanic and leveling progression system that I don't think any game has ever done anything close to. It's different. Basically, you have a menu. You'll set like a certain set of moves. You can have like attack, I think is a default you have to have. And then you have a choice between the summons, magic, items, and the draw mechanic. Which is basically like you can use to get magic and like and summons in this game, but I'll get into that in a while. As you get your summons, or the Guardian Forces, or alternately more fun known as GFs, as has brought a lot of people much joy to say. You will get new abilities like upgrading your attack, your HP, Mog, lowering counters, extra stats, and extra things for battles, such as you can equip magic to your weapon. So if you equip blind to your weapon, if you have 50 uses of blind, we'll get to it, you have like a 50% chance, depending on your enemy's resistance, of blinding your enemy. Or you can equip fire to it to have extra fire attack. It's super customizable, and it's one of my favorite parts about it, because basically you get magic by either finding draw points or using draw on an enemy, which they might have 3 magic attacks. They might have blizzard, so you'll draw and you can either choose to cast it on the opponent or take a certain amount from them. So you get 13 blizzards, now you have 13 uses, and that can be used to make your weapons stronger, or your defense higher, or your resistance to stuff higher. There's a ton to it. Blizzard can be used to make your attack stronger, it can be used, but if you get stuff like, again, like I mentioned, sleep, it can be extra sleep attack, sleep resistance. It can be attached to your HP, attack, defense in a separate way, just to increase your stats. So it really becomes like a balancing act of, oh, I want to use life, but that really increases my HP. So I'm going to have to lose a bit of max HP to revive my character, so I have to get it back. And it's a real balancing act. But I adore it. Most of my favourite Final Fantasy games, this, 10, 13, they all have a weird leveling system that I love. 2 even. I fucking love 2's leveling system. It just makes it a ton more fun for me. Where was I going with this? But yeah, that's what you get from leveling up your GFs, because in battle you get like experience and regular, like, and you get AP to basically level up your GFs, which will get you about just like 20 something abilities per character. There is a ton. The GFs in this game, the summons in this game, I think outclass every other game by a mile. 7 started the trend of having the big epic 3D animations to play out when you summon something. I think 9 does it really well too, but 8. These animations are incredible. Just look at these. Look. Diablos and his fucking giant black ball attack. Alexander just going crazy with like missiles and everything. Shiva is incredible. Ifrit, even just the most like basic ones from every game. Do we even need to talk about Eden? I think it's like a 2-minute summon. And you get a boost mechanics as well from your from leveling your GFs, which basically you hold down select and you tap square. It'll start off 75% of the basic power, but as long as you can press it more than 25 times, it's more powerful, all the way up to 255, which it just leads to, you've done it like crazy. It's like, come on, come on, come on. And the summons are gotten in a variety of ways, from just basic story mechanics. I don't even know how to begin with stuff like Doom Train, because I don't, you find magazines to explain it, but it's some of the most fetch questy, grindy. I don't know where the hell you'd find this information. If you ever played Kingdom Hearts 1 and did like the late game synthesizing, you'd have to you have to like go to different worlds to find the one enemy there that'll drop things, do this crazy thing. It's like that times 10. You might have to find an enemy who's level 45, lower his level by 10 with a junction ability, and then you can steal it from him. I can't imagine doing this without a guide. But most of them are just gotten from drawing from certain bosses, which I can see a negative of. I can imagine being annoyed because, oh, I didn't get this one, sometimes like one-off chance to get GFs. At least onto the end game, where a lot of them can be gotten again. Just because you didn't draw. But at the same time, like I said, you get magic from enemies, which can be used to increase your stats heavily. So if you're going into a boss fight not checking what they have, I think that's on you. And even if you didn't know about GFs from that way, I think you should be doing it anyway, and it's kind of on you. But I did mention you get abilities from leveling up, which I think definitely creates one of the most controversial aspects of this game. You know how in every Final Fantasy game when you level up, you're stronger than your enemy? You go back to the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, to the first area, kill an enemy, you're gonna one-shot them. In this game, enemies scale with you. Now, I definitely understand why people don't like this, and I'm mixed on it. I don't exactly, like, it's not something I would think to do or ask for if they were making the game, but I also don't dislike it. I get the appeal of having to balance out like leveling with the junction system. Try not to fight many things, but trying to steal from them, trying to get draw magic from them, and that increases your abilities more. But it definitely is frustrating to feel like I don't want to fight any enemy because I'm actively making the game harder for myself. And that can definitely be a negative. I can definitely see that, but I'm fine with it. I guess that's basically it. I wouldn't take it out, but I wouldn't put it in either, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Which also can create what, for some reason, people consider a criticism. If you know exactly what you're doing, you can go out of your way at the start of the game, well, not at the start of the game, but very early in the game to get, like, to steal certain items from enemies, because you get resources as well to use to upgrade your weapons. So if you get exactly the right items and you know exactly where to go and exactly what to steal and you know exactly what you're doing and go out of your way for hours to do it, you can get really good weapons early on, and since the enemies will be low level, you'll be super strong. Oh yeah, garbage game. You have the option, if you know exactly what you're doing, to go out of your way to get overpowered? Oh, crappy game. I can go look up a guide and get overpowered. Oh, that's clearly a flaw with the game. Grand Theft Auto sucks. There's cheats in it. I can just have infinite health with cheats. Technically a mechanic of the game if I go out of my way. I never got this argument, to be honest. I never got why people had a problem with that. I don't get how a game is bad because if you know exactly how to do it, you can get overpowered early on. Like, I get it if it's like a very simple thing to do. If you go into, oh, if I talk to this guy to start the game, I get the most powerful weapon and I can never get it again if I don't. Because then it's always there. I get that. But when it's a thing you have to go out of your way to do, I don't get it. What else? Of course, Final Fantasy VIII is also home to one of, if not the most beloved and famous minigame in the franchise, Triple Triad. Beautiful, incredible game. You have 9 slots. I don't think I need to explain to anybody. Everyone that has any care for this franchise probably knows this. It's also in 14 to some extent. I don't think I've ever gotten to play it much, but 9 cards. You have, like, every card will have 4 numbers. 1 at the top, 1 at the left, 1 at the right, 1 at the bottom. So if you have 2 at the top and they have 1 at the bottom, it will flip their card. That card is now yours. Whoever has more cards flipped at the end wins. Which will give you one of your opponent's cards. I'll be honest, I've seen people struggle to figure this game out at the start, and I can completely get it. I didn't know what I was doing as a kid either. And I really do think a huge portion of the confusion with this game would be easily gone if instead of just having like all in the bottom corner, like 5 at the top, 4 at the left, 1 at the bottom, 2 at the right. If it was just like 5 up here, a different number here, here, I think that would help a lot, because then it'd be easier to visualize. But when you do get it, you're never going to forget. Of course, one of the most probably controversial things about the card game is some of the... You get extra rules as you go on too. So you might get the elemental rule, fire cards, because all the cards are monsters from the game. So Ifrit has 9 attack, put him on a fire panel, every one of his things get 1 extra to it. But then there's other crazier rules. There's the same rule. They have a card here with a 5 on the right, 4 on the left. You have 4 on the right of your card, 5 on the left. The numbers match up, it'll flip them both, and sometimes if they have other cards, it'll flip those too. It's a lot. Then they have the random rule, which everybody loves. You know, because you get to start, you get to pick whichever cards you want, you're going to pick your best ones. Oh, not anymore. Random set of cards, and you're always going to get the biggest crap. But here's the 4 weakest cards in the game, and your best one. Well, that's going. And anyone who's played this game for a long time, we've all been there. We've all spent 2 hours trying to win a card back, lost 3 more, and we hadn't saved in like 20, 30 minutes, so we don't want to turn it off, so we just lose half our cards, like, alright, resetting. We've all been there, there's no shame. But it is genuinely one of the most addicting, incredibly fun but simplistic, ton of fun, random chaotic mini-games I've ever played, and I fucking adore it. It is not my favourite Final Fantasy minigame. That honour goes to Blitzball in 10, but this is definitely second. I can't think of anything that would beat that, except for Blitzball, because Blitzball is one of those games where I will put like every save point that I get to in a game, like, oh yeah, let's have a couple hours of Blitzball. There's a few other kind of little mini games too, like stopping a train by inputting commands at the right time, not getting caught in one of the most thrilling, intense, surprisingly terrifying moments. And usually that is kind of what they revolve around. But yeah. Have I missed anything important about this game? Like in 7 Danger, I have limit breaks as well in battle, but they're done slightly different. It's like the lower your health is, when it goes under a certain threshold, you'll press left and you can pick a new attack. Usually that's how I pick my characters, because as much as I hate not using Rhinoa, I like using the limit breaks that are interactive. Squadron Zakuken is just a trigger thing to press R1 at the right time. It'll like do extra damage every time. Then usually that creates an extra like ending attack as well, depending on your weapon. The most famous, of course, being the Lionheart. Beautiful. Zell, it turns into a fighting game, which makes sense. He's the he's the martial artist. So like left that circle, attack. You'll have a timer. The timer will stop when you're doing your animations, and then when you're putting the movements to the buttons, he will do his own, like the time will go. So you'll just be in a panic of up down, because you have like 2 or 3 choices, and then that leads to special attacks too. Some of them get fucking crazy. Selfies is probably most famous and useful, because she gets a, I guess like a, not a slot machine, but it'll have a random magic, and then you can have a choice between cast or do over. So it could be Blizzard, 3 uses of Blizzard, 2 uses of Thundaga, 3 uses of Protect, full cure which revives everyone fully. The reason why this is so well known, there's 2 moves, Rapture and the End. Now I might butcher the deeper mechanics of this, but as far as I know, maybe except for one enemy, this can one-shot literally every enemy or boss in the entire game. And apparently on the PS1, I think it was, if you open the disc tray, it just lets you do it forever. There's no time limit on it, because the enemy will stop attacking you, so you can just next, 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 win. And the others, Quistis is just a blue magic thing. You learn abilities. I think you get items from enemies. I think that's how you get them all, and then you can choose an enemy ability. Irvine just lets you kind of do a rapid fire with his gun. Rhino is interesting, I'll give you that. She basically uses her dog and fires it like a cannon. I'd love to know how they came up with that. Final Fantasy has some weird moments, but nobody has ever got their dogs by fucked it at the enemy. And sometimes the battle just do random things as well, and they have different abilities. You'll find books, and then you'll basically walk around, and that levels up the meter. And it'll do things like revive you and special attacks, so it's funny, and I hate not using her, but I gotta go to the interactive ones. It's just more fun. And while this game doesn't have many like super bosses, like something like 10 or 7, it has a lot of optional ones for like GFs, like Bahamut is a optional thing, I think. Or the Cactuar King. It's just I don't know, the Jumbo Cactuar, that's the one. The Cactuar, fuck me. The Jumbo Cactuar. Which is just what it is. It's just a giant mustache one, just massive. I don't even know how much HP, and he can run away and is only 3%. I'd fucking nightmare to fight. You get a Tonberry GF, which is, oh, love it. Absolutely. No other Final Fantasy gives you this. You get it by fighting like 20 Tonberries in one area. It's a lot, but yeah, I think. But there is Omega Weapon, which is an, oh my fucking god. Remember how I said enemies get stronger as you level? That also applies to boss fights. I believe he has 1,000,000 HP when you fight him at level 100, which I was, because how do you avoid it? Which wouldn't be a problem except for one little thing. You know how old Final Fantasy games had level magic, as in level 3 magic, kills everything at a multiple of level 3. Level 4 magic, same thing, but with 4. What do you think happens when 3 of your characters are level 100 and an enemy has level 5 magic. It sucks. Thankfully, I think only Squall was level 100, but Jesus, it was a nightmare fight. And it doesn't help, it just shows this weird little thing. You have to be like, you have to ring a bell, and ring a different bell, and then you have to go to it, run like 2 screens forward. It doesn't sound like much, but when you lose 20 times and you're there for 2 hours, it's a lot. I don't know too many spoilers about the super boss, I guess. It's relentless. It will cast like a meteor style attack, which I swear I would do everything in my power. HP, full. Defense, magic defense, as high as I could get it. Protect, shell, everything set up perfectly for myself, and then it would go one of 3 ways. I feel like 15 out of 20 times it would kill one of us, and the second guy and like the other 2 characters would be really low. 4 out of 10 times it would kill 2 characters, and then you're just fucked. You're just in a massive panic. Full life, full life. Try to use double full life because he's double and triple magic. But sometimes he would insta-kill you because the end attack could just insta-kill as well, which means you have to redo your protect, redo your shell, redo your double and triple, and hope you can get everybody before he gets you. But then 1 out of every one of those times, he would get 3 of us. And again, before you could react literally all, even if you were perfectly ready, and you have to be so on the ball every second. Because if you attacked him, even no matter how much damage you do, you might get the full 9999. It didn't matter, because he might instantly do an attack, and then your one character who survives has to wait for her ATB gauge to fill up, and then you're dead. Because if you're not instantly ready to cast full life again, he's going to insta-kill. But yeah. Oh. What do you get for killing this super boss? The one real super boss in the game? If you go into the menu, you basically get a diploma. It's like, congratulations, you defeat this Omega weapon. It's stupid shit. And I guess I'll quickly mention as well, I know, that's it, not but that other way, if you couldn't tell, I love this game. It's one of my most cherished games in the world. I got it day one when it was announced on PS4. I was so happy. I knew I'd get to Platinum someday. I didn't know if I was going to do it for 200 because I got to a point where it was close. And I really thought I had a lot more to do in this game, but it worked out okay because I just went back to play it normally. I wasn't even focusing on the trophies. It's like, I'm going to play it. I want to play the story. And then I did everything in the game story-wise, and I was just closer than I thought. But yeah. If I'm going to rank without any of the trophies, 10 out of 10. It's one of my most cherished, beloved top 10 games ever made. Second favourite game in my favourite franchise in the world. Of course. There's a reason it was number 200 and number 200. And I'm very happy it was, because it is, like I said, one of the most influential, cherished games in the world for me. But yeah. Let's just get into the trophies. Let's just do it. So Final Fantasy VIII has 35 trophies, so 34 in a Platinum. And I'll be honest, a huge chunk of them, like I said earlier, are really just playing the game. I believe 15 or 16 of them are just from getting the GFs. And like I said, 9 out of 10 of them are as simple as fight boss, draw, get GF. 9 out of 10 are just that. Like I said, Doom Train is it's a tedious one because you have to get very specific items from very specific enemies, and without a guide, I don't know how you just have to go everywhere. Like, you'd realistically have to just fight every enemy at every level, and because you can turn them into cards as well for Triple Triad, which can give you items as well, I believe. No, oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. You get abilities to refine things. So you can turn this item into this magic into this item, this magic into this higher level magic, and that's how you get a few of them. Yeah, turn card into item. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, oops. There's so much to do, and I think for one, it was like if you were too high level, you had to lower their level. So you would have to do so much experimentation to get this. And because I know the game well, I've played it so many times, I've heard other people talk about it, watch other people play it, I know how to do this stuff, but where's the information in the game? Who knows? How are you supposed to know to fight 20 Tonberries to get the Dawn Tonberry? Never questioned it. I just know this stuff because I've played the game so many times. I've watched, like I said, I've I've just heard people talk about it so much. There's a couple of just story related trophies and the most basic that you can imagine. Obviously defeating Omega Weapon. But even just stuff like playing your first game of Triple Triad, losing your first game of Triple Triad, reaching max HP. Just the most basic stuff you can really imagine. As I said, I was going to mention, there's also one for getting into the highest seed rank. I think it depends how well you do in your first mission, where you basically like 10, 20, 30 or 40 minutes to do your first boss fight. And then as you go on, how well you do in battle. Characters dying, I believe, running from battle will decrease your rank, but thankfully you can do this pretty easy just because they have something I think every game needs. Trivia. You have 30 tests, which everyone gives you a 10 yes or no questions, like, there are 8 elements, yes or no, you can steal this item. Oh my god, that might be how you figure out where to get items from certain things. I never thought of that. That's 300 questions. The amount of information they have to hide in there, fuck, I never thought of that. But they'll have stuff like, this item can be refined into this item, you get this weapon for... You can draw this magic from this monster, stuff like that. But yeah, that actually might be how you're supposed to figure out some of this stuff. That's brilliant. If I'm right, that's kind of cool. But yeah. And when you do get this rank, it indicates how much money you will randomly out of nowhere. You'll just be running around doing your own thing, and then boom, seed bonus, 20,000. Stuff for upgrading weapons. You don't have to get the best weapons, but yeah. The last trophy I think I got here was killing 1,000 enemies, which surprising. When I first got the game and when it came out, I got to like disc 3, near the end of disc 3. Wasn't even near 1,000, I think. Because they give you, oh, it's fucking annoying. You can count how many enemies you killed with the battle tracker. You get this by talking to Sid, this game's version of Sid, at a random point. You don't talk to him in that one room, in that one place. Oh, nope. Fuck you. No battle counter. Why? Why? Why hide something that... In fact, that's something this game does quite a bit. I'm not going to go into details, but obviously spoilers. This game hides one of the most insane bits of lore I've ever seen not explained. In a single... Like, you're in a room of people, and if you don't press X to talk to that person in that one space, you will never know this. You'll never get a hint about it. And I'm not talking like, oh, these two characters met once in a bathroom. This character did a thing he probably shouldn't have done. No, it's insane what they hide. And I can't even like, stress this enough. It's not even like a Mario where it's like full-on voice cutscenes. Like, you didn't do a side quest. You didn't do something that you obviously should do. It's tiny. It is possibly the most missable, important bit of information and lore I've ever seen done like this. It's madness. Oh, it's crazy. I love it. And the other two were there was one to draw from 100 draw points, because you'll find it randomly around the world. You find this little purple spinning thing and just like drawing like a 20 lives, 20 zombies, whatever. And I think they were set if you leave the room or something. So it's like draw, leave, draw, leave. I wonder why I left that till almost last. Oh. And then there's the poo poo side quest. No, I'm not kidding. PU, PU. You go to a place. You do a battle. It's not even a battle. It's just a certain thing happens on screen. Ooh, battle over. Then you go to another place. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. This is the trophy why I thought this wouldn't be 200. Because I didn't know how long this would take. I didn't realize it was just go here, do thing, go here, do thing. Now go here and press X on this person. I'll go here and give the enemy 5 elixirs. But yeah, since this has been nearly 40 minutes now, let's just get into the rankings. Anything else I want to say, I can save till the end. Fun. Oh, what would I say for a fun and a platinum? Oh, gee, what would this... I'll be honest, the game itself is something I fucking adore. Most of the trophies are fine. There's nothing, I guess, negative about the trophy experience, except for the 100 drop. That's kind of shit. They know you're not going to drop from 100 enemies throughout the game, but I guess I wish there was a few more trophies that were like unique. Like I said, half of the trophies are literally just get GF. But it's an amazing game. What can I say? It's a fucking joy to play. I have to go with a 10. Part of me almost wishes I didn't, just because the little trophies like the fucking Omega weapon, the stupid 100 draw points. Getting like two of the trophies I think are for losing. One for losing a card, one for losing a rare card. Like, stupid. But how can I not give a 10 to one of my most beloved games in the world? It'd just be wrong. It'd be a betrayal to childhood me. Difficulty. That's a tough one. I will say I don't think I struggled heavily on anything throughout the game except for the for Omega weapon. There's nothing like that stands out as, oh, that was super tough. I think the Bahamut fight was kind of, not even the fight itself. There's like a weird room where you're here and every little step you take is like battle, battle, battle. No, so if you move at the wrong time, there's like 20 battles probably against ruby dragons who can cast meltdown and then to cast meteor and can insta kill you in pretty much insta kill you and it can destroy you quickly. I've seen other people struggle too, not just me, so makes me feel better. I think appropriately for what it is, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I was going to say 8, but I think 7 is more appropriate. And that's for me. I feel like if I went out of my way, because even with the Omega weapon, I feel like there are little things I could have done to increase my defense and magic defense just a tiny bit. And if you want to include the fact it's selfie, if you just want to take the time to do it, you could go into the battle, hope to get the end, and insta kill him. I didn't want to do anything like that. That'd be like using Zanmeta to win 10. It's just, no. I will sit here for 4 hours in the same battle. I will not fucking take the easy way out. I think 7 seems appropriate. And you can make it easier or harder for yourself if you want by not battling. Battling depends where you want. Not using the best magic to increase your stuff. You could easily make little challenges like that. As for the time it took, it's a little tough because, like I said, I played through like 3/4 plus of the game when it came out, and I think it was 2019. Didn't finish for some reason. I think I just had like a bad build. I didn't level up properly or level up too much. And I think I just got to a point where the game was a struggle and I just didn't go back. But considering that the overwhelming majority of the game, I'm pretty sure I did on the second playthrough anyway. Even stuff I'd already done, I did it again because I wanted to. The end time for me in this at least on the save file, because it didn't show me the actual time on the PS5 for some reason, because it's a PS4 game. The final time was 63 hours, which I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be in the hundreds. 63 hours, I don't think that's, yeah, it's actually surprisingly short. Yeah, crazy. That time would probably be amplified at least triple if you didn't know where to get the items, if you had to just look for every enemy, every location, that'd be fucking insane. And for an overall score, for the Platinum Journey, I can't even just pretend it's anything else. Like I said, it's one of my favourite things. Full final score, 10 out of 10. This game, I'm not going to say the game is perfect, but it's still just as high as I can go. Such an incredible experience for me. Every time I go back to it, I fall in love all over again. Between the characters, just the look of the world, the FMVs. That's what pushed me to play when I was younger and I didn't know what I was doing. The FMVs in this game are, yes, they're dated. Of course they are. Like I always say, if I look back at a game from 1999, I'm tripping. And it doesn't look dated. What the hell are we doing? But they're still beautiful. The music is incredible. Some of the best in the franchise. I'm telling you, if you play Final Fantasy 15, driving around in that open green world with the Final Fantasy 8 open world music playing, one of the most tranquil, great experiences. I love the battle system. I love the junction system. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's one of the most fun things to mess with ever. I love being able to gradually increase stuff with it. I love like, oh, I have 14 thunders. That makes my attack 15. Oh, but now I've gotten to point 27 fire as. Yes, it's up to 17. I love that. I love gradual increases. They're not linked to leveling. Most of my favourite Final Fantasy games, if not all of them, have that as a feature. I love alternate leveling systems so much. This is something I've always had a fucking just passionate love for. And I do, and look, I even have the special disc. It's funny because back when I was younger, we had discs, and PS1 games, they just didn't. They scratched easier, I think, or even more careless. Who knows? Disc one, it worked okay, but would freeze a lot into cutscenes, especially FMVs. I remember trying like genuinely probably hundreds of times, but it would get to the end of the disc one, it would start up the cutscene, and then the clock would be like 20:00, 20:01, 20:02, and it would be done. It was off. I hate it. Do you have any idea what it's like to have this game as a kid and having this much love for it and just not being able to play it? But in an amazing, like genuinely just unbelievable stroke of luck. For us, disc 1, 2, and 3 didn't work. 4 was perfect. My brother's friend, disc 1, 2, and 3 worked perfectly. Only disc 4 didn't work, so we traded for a while. It's a game I love coming back to. I can see myself revisiting again very soon. Might play it here sometime. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy VIII. Probably one of my most defining game taste shaping games out there, if not the most. If this wasn't introduced to me so early on, who knows how different things would be. And even after, what has it been? 28 years since this game came out, I still love it. And it's definitely getting a lot less love, especially when it came out. I think it's gotten a lot more recently. They all kind of do. That tends to happen. I was there day one. I loved it from the beginning. So all of you, yeah, fuck you all. Same thing's happened with 13 recently. I feel vindicated. It makes me happy when I see people coming back to this game either for the first time or coming back to it when they didn't like it when they were younger and finally realizing it's fucking incredible. And I did mention it was my second favourite, 10 being my favourite. Gee, what are my other favourites? If only there was some way people could find out. That's been Final Fantasy VIII. Number 200. It's been 15 years, 16 years now since I started going for trophies. Will there ever be a 300? Who knows? I'll definitely do something special for 250 if I get there anytime soon, because that's 250,000. That's a big one. Anyway, that's been 47 minutes roughly. Oh, that's what I did today. I need to get this out. I didn't want to do it because it's hot as shit. I have this fucking thing on. As for what'll be next, I'm generally want to stop like mentioning stuff I already have because I've been behind. But I think the three that could be are, what have I gotten? Oh, I'm not gonna say it. The next one, I think it's either the next one or the one after that is going. It could be bigger than this. It could be longer because I have a lot to yell about. The last two, in a lot of ways, were stressful as hell. Especially one of them. I can't wait to talk. Oh, that's gonna be a long one. But yeah. Have you played Final Fantasy VIII? Were you one of the haters when it came out? Do you love it as much as I do? I passionately love this game, and I hope more people go back to it too. Especially people who didn't like when it came out, because I think after 7 came out, that was the biggest game in the world for a while. People might have had different expectations, and I think that definitely coloured it. Anyway, that's been Final Fantasy VIII. Thank you for watching. See you for the next one, and see you for the next Platinum. Whatever.